you practice the KANE-aroonie?
Yeah, I still think that's it. Yeah. They wanted me to do this. They wanted the character to be a little more lighthearted. So I was like, golly, the pencil and sure did swing, right? So if I'm as fast as KANE-aroonie I am, actually, and Booker tried and teams it too. Yeah, he looked terrible. I look like a turtle with stuck on his back trying to get that thing.
We had a couple of different questions going back to policy stuff, saying for eliminate these, and then I'm going back to the wrestling stuff because I've got so many of these here. We'll get to as many of them as can, but at some point they're going to tell me to shut up, and then people want to meet you and get a picture and autographs and stuff. If we eliminate an income tax, do we then necessarily have to raise other taxes?
Again, it's a matter of priorities, and it's a matter of testing. You know, in Tennessee, our sales tax is a little high, but our property tax is also very low. So, you know, again, it's just a matter, as Eric said, there's so many of these things about decisions and spending. You know, it's hard because once people have something, it's hard to say, hey, we're not going to do that anymore. We have to cut back. You know, that's where you get into like stair stepping, which is fine as long as you eventually get there. The problem is when you start saying, we're going to stair step this, then at some point someone will forget that, you know, they're stuck with it, whatever way. So not necessarily, but again, it's a matter of political will more than anything else.
Okay, so if you don't run for something else, here's a question asking if there is a food comeback that's possibly great.
So that's up from the day before my last match was Royal Rumble 2021, and they called me about 2 months before, and said, hey, would you like to do the Royal Rumble? I'm like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. I'll get out of the office for a weekend. It'll be fun. So I was running out. At the time, I had a little wrestling school with Dr. Tom Pritchard, and so I go over and use our ring, and I hit the ropes a few times. And I was gonna take a bump, fall down. Hitting the ropes hurt so badly that I decided not to fall down to fairly be able to get back up. So I'm like, I'll be fine, right? And it was funny because the closer it got to the Royal Rumble, the more I'm thinking, I don't know if I'm gonna be fine, right? And finally, I'm walking down the ramp that evening, and I'm thinking to myself, this is a really bad idea. No, I mean, you know, seriously, the level of athleticism in WWE, you know, it is unbelievable, right? And I could not do that. I mean, I might be able to come back and have a match, you know, and get through that, and then hopefully Claudic Ben Gay and ISO on the other side. But, you know, those guys, they're incredible athletes, you know, and I just wouldn't be able to hang with them. And, you know, one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to ruin your legacy, you know, and come back. You're just not what you were before. You know, that's something that we all keep in mind. So I would say I might come out and show sign something.
Hey, he picked the fight. That's the
I'm not getting anyone call me back. I think I might be scared. I don't get it.
Now, here's an interesting question, and it says Mick Foley is pretty vocal. He doesn't see things the way that we see things. So outside of wrestling, it says, do you and Mick Foley get along pretty well despite the difference in viewpoints, and would you consider doing a podcast with him?
Yeah, sure. I mean, Mick and I get along fine. He's wrong about a lot of things. It's my opinion. But Mick is a great guy. Mick has a really good heart. And he's one of those people that thinks, government should fix this stuff. And, you know, to me, he just doesn't take that next step and say, you know, not only is government, it's that fantasy world of where government works perfectly, and it doesn't, right? And then also the unintended consequences of all these things. But Mick is not one of those like crazy liberals, you know, they're just crazy. It's Mick's heart that causes him to think that way, you know. And so he's one of the good guys. I just think that he's wrong about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And I think we're going to play wrap up because one thing.